Good afternoon, everybody. We are out here in Jacksonville at Abby and Andrew's home. It's not a tremendously complex project, but for young homeowners, I think they accomplished some great things for their needs. And one of the areas where we started was right up front. If you see the before pictures, there were limbs hanging quite low across the front of the driveway here. And albeit that they're in the neighbor's yard, you are allowed to prune if it's parts of a tree that are hanging over in your yard. Now, the homeowner next door was asked, and she responded favorably and understood the reason why Abby wanted to get trees pruned. So it opens up this area a bit. In addition to that, our tree tech was able to clean up palm here off of my left and another palm directly behind me. And then as we walk around, there's a couple of large crepe myrtles which were pruned, all with the intention of getting a little bit more light around the house and some airflow. The crew also shaped up some of the front hedges here that you'll see. And we installed an area of sod which was in pretty bad shape right in front here. So the yard looks appreciably nicer than what it did at the start. So the guys cleaned up the hedges. They removed some of this large viburnum away from the house and the air conditioners to get some more air for the unit. And as you can see, the crepe myrtle has been cleaned away so it's not sticking out. It was close to touching the roof on this house. So we got that accomplished for them. As we walk to the backyard, the key element for them is they have two dogs. One's a corgi, one's a pug. And so all of the plantings in the backyard needed to be safe with pets. So you'll see some plants that we don't use all of the time, but are some of the few plants that you can use with pets to be completely safe. Again, this crepe myrtle was cleaned off. This was actually touching the house over here. And if you recall, there were 3 decent-sized Chinese fan palms back here. We removed those. We added some camellias, which will give us some real pretty flowers starting around Thanksgiving and lasting up until the latter part of January. We've got some mondo grass, which does quite well in shade, and that's safe with pets. The other thing you'll notice is we use cypress mulch with all of the oak trees here. Cypress is a good choice because the leaves that fall off the oak trees match the color of the cypress fairly well. So if you use a real dark brown mulch, 5 minutes after you install it, all the oak leaves kind of contaminate the look. So use cypress mulch here. Over in this area, we removed a couple other additional shrubs and added some corresponding camellias here. These are Shishi Gashiras, and they won't get very high. So if you're worried about the height here, they only get about 2 to 3 feet tall as a maintained height. The plant with the very large 5-lobed leaf, those are called Fatsia. That does very well in shade. It will get a white bloom in the summer, and those two will kind of grow together as one big mass. We then did some jasmine where there were a lot of tree roots here, and we couldn't grow grass because it's definitely too shady to get good turf under this tree. And if you look up, the trees that are closest on the other side of the fence are actually going to be removed by the neighbor, which will then give this area more sunlight, so the turf should do better going forward. And hopefully they're going to do that removal in the next couple of months. We installed some palmetto. Actually, this is ProVista turf. It's a brand new variety that Scotts puts out. It's good in shade and sun. And the really cool and interesting thing about it is you can actually, when it's established, spray Roundup on it and kill the weeds in it, but not kill the grass itself. So it's really new on the market. It's this year, and we've been using that in particularly in shady situations because it's supposed to do quite well in the shade. So that's a real quick view of what we did. It's not earth-shattering, but compared to what was here before, this backyard feels much larger than what it did by opening up and removing the palm trees. And the birds are here. We did lose one of our birds, took an early vacation day, but we do have the birds are out front, and thank you for stopping in.